Hello, and welcome to some more casts from Beginners Tournament. This time it's recorded from replays rather than live. These are some of the games that I was not able to actually cover on the day of the tournament, being only one person casting. So starting off onto the blue team, we have Hard Justice, who's playing the Plague Champion, and Perfect Hidden Justice, who's playing the Chaos Sorcerer, and together they are known as Team E.R.E.C.T, and E.R.E.C.T is actually stands for Eradication of Repulsive, Evil and Corruption Team. But I'm going to refer to them as E.R.E.C.T because that's a more fun name to use. Now then, for the red team we have Ordo Spurdo Spardictus, and on that team we have Tankbooster playing as the Chaos Lord, and we also have Commissar Storage playing as Lord Commisar, and they'll be on the red team for this map. The map is Caldera's Refinery, the 2v2 version, and this is the like one of the first games in the series. Actually, this is for both these teams. This is their first round with each other. Very odd to see triple chaos in a 2v2, but these are the players' favourite picks, so they're going to be sticking with those picks. And starting off, we actually have the Chaos Lord trying to go in here. We'll need to back away though, as he is alone, although he does have some Heretics and CSM kind of stepping in right now. Chaos Lord trying to stay at range there, Heretics trying to come in. We do have Hard Justice Heretics going in as well, and Doom Blast each other going down. Looks like Hard Justice will be the first one to retreat away from the fight, and it looks like Tankbooster will be able to carry on pushing forward as well. Multiple Heretics going down, Heretics not getting enough range for another Doom Blast there. In fact, actually stop here, and we do see that Hard Justice decides to turn around and give the Heretics a little bit of a poke. VP is actually still uncapped for red team as well on their natural, but they do actually have the center VP, and do see that the Heretics are dropping very low. 6 HP, won't go down to the damage over time, but also the damage over time's actually run out, and the Sentinel's coming in here, and there's double CSM along the Plague Champion. This is very risky for the Sentinel to just kind of walk up there without its stomp and without anything to actually tie up the amount of range damage coming out here. And very early on, we do see a multi-last turret as well, which is preventing any kind of push from Perfect Hidden Justice so far. Does some CSM here for Tankbooster, trying to fight the double CSM and the Plague Champion of Hard Justice. These CSM are kind of just walking around. They need to get behind some green cover before they do lose a model. Plague Champion could also benefit quite greatly as well from a Mucus Discharge as well, being able to heal all those CSM that he's blobbed around. In fact, we do see, what did he plus 15? Actually, it was the multi-last turret across the map that got destroyed by Perfect Hidden Justice, and do see some CSM retreating away. It looks like these grenade launcher Heretics actually took care of the multi-last turret that stood over here. Got some Heretic worship going on, some Nurgle worship going on, giving all these CSM some health regen, some much needed for this particular squad who is only on half health. But we do see that Commissar Storage is actually looking to push in here, and he will be having to fight up onto the high ground. Some Heretics coming in here. Lord Commissar looks like they're going to tie him up. Sentinel does have Stomp as well. Could see a Stomp onto the Heretics as well. Will only catch out one model. Actually only stuns it. Doesn't look like it knocked it back. No Doom Blast gone off yet. Some grenade launcher Heretics though from the teammate here coming in from Perfect Hidden Justice. The Heretics of Hard Justice will be forced away. Do you see the guardsmen retreating away? Lord Commissar following as well. Raptors on the field now for both Chaos players on the blue team, and the Censor does choose to walk out of there. Do you see that the Commander as well also died in the midst of this fight? The Plague Champion going down. Havocs and the Heavy Weapons team setting up, however these CSM will be in a bit of trouble, taking a fair amount of damage here. But here come the double Raptors however, and they're going to jump down and actually surprise both teams with a single jump. The second set of Raptors now jumping in onto the Heavy Weapons team. What's going to be met by the Heretics and the Chaos Lord. Sentinel Stomp coming in very defensively there. The IG Heavy Weapons team has managed to fall all the way back and will get a chance to reset up. Raptors do not have their jump ready. Heretics will be wiped though, however. Tankbooster down to just a CSM and Havocs now. Raptors will bleed a model, could bleed another model if that Chaos Lord can get a single swing. Does have that power melee as well, making him very effective against heavy infantry in the early game. Do see that his Stormbolts are trying to do some work against these CSMs. I doubt he'll be able to pick off a model, however. Some grenade launcher Heretics and CSM coming in though for Perfect Hidden Justice. Chaos Lord will need to be careful, otherwise he'll just take a lot of damage and not be able to do too much himself. Havoc's going to be setting up CSM coming in to see a grenade barrage going down. And now that it's on cooldown, Havoc's are going to have a free time to set up and are going to be able to suppress these two units here for perfect hidden justice. Play champion has been repurchased as well and is in a bit of an awkward position right now. He's trying to flank this Havoc squad, but he seems to be getting specialed here by the Chaos Lord. Sentinel coming in. Heavy weapons team also going to support in. Raptors going to jump onto those Havocs. Heavy weapons team will be able to absolutely blast onto these Raptors, however, if given the chance. Havocs are still trying to remain in the fight as long as possible. And that Havoc squad does need to be careful. One Raptor model going down. Do you see Heretics gain the aspiring champion as well? And it's not going to be enough to push in against this heavy weapons team. We in fact need to see the second Raptor squad come in. Do see some very nice Doom Bolts onto those guardsmen. Look at the damage that was done to them. All grouped up together. And we do see the second set of Raptors coming in, only to be met by some Heretics. We do see the instant retreat there. Chaos Lord very low himself. Does have some energy left or killed a weak, but I believe it is on the cooldown. 500 VPs to 430. We do see a full gen farm here, but no gen farm here for red team. We do see a similar situation actually for blue team as well. In fact, actually red team built some generators over here, which normally you would see them build generators onto this power node instead. But red team are currently safe. In fact, they are the aggressors here, so they are able to protect that gen farm just fine for now. Do you see another attempt here? We do have a lot of guardsmen. These Heretics looks very low. In fact, they could go down 4 HP, will go down. They even had the aspiring champion upgrade as well. But that was not going to be the tankiness that they needed. The IG heavy weapons team getting very low along the guardsmen. IG heavy weapons team will go down to these Raptors, however. Raptors taking a lot of damage from Heretics, but the Heretics actually back out the fight, leaving these Raptors with 3 models, even level 2 Catachins coming in now. What can they do here? We could see an unreliable on retreat here, could take a model. Catachins, like he's not paying attention to his Catachins right now, and do see a retreat come in, has lost 2 models on them. And do see that all players as well are taking up to tier 2. Raptors and CSM on their way to mid now. Grenade launcher Heretics off to the side, however, doing a very annoying cap, decapping a fully matured requisition point, even capping it for themselves. Do see a cap over here onto the CSM as well. Still no cap on this mid, however, we've got some CSM currently seen idle, and this generator farm is now known as well for the blue team. Do have a Blood Crusher on the way at the same time as a Chimera for Commissar storage. The very fast Blood Crusher could prove a problem given that the heavy weapons team has gone down, and red team are going to be lacking some AV. They've only got a single Havoc squad which they can upgrade to a last cannon. There are also other AV options available. We could see the Lord Commissar in fact get the Power Claw. He's getting the Stubbornness upgrade as well, so that combined with the Power Claw should be enough to handle a Blood Crusher. It's just going to be very difficult to chase it down with a melee weapon, however. Havocs are set up over here. CSM having to back away here as well. Do you have an aspiring champion onto the Heretics as well of Tankbooster? Raptors are still on the field, however. They do want to jump in because they know that the Heretics there will jump onto them as soon as they decide to jump in as well, and they will be able to beat the Raptors as well, especially make them bleed as well compared to the Heretics, which would be a problem. Blood Crusher on its way mid, and we do actually have the Sorcerer going in by himself, trying to go after those guardsmen. The Chimeras are out on the field now, the Blood Crusher is still going in, however. Meanwhile, a Dreadnought coming out for hard justice. Perfect Hidden Justice decided to follow up this Blood Crusher with some Plague Marines and Tankbuster as well, gain a Dreadnought for himself. Lord Commissar gained very low, but with the Stubbornness he'll be able to get away just fine. The Sorcerer, however, is very low. A Shotgun Blast knocks him onto the ground and he could go down if not careful due to the Catachins. They actually want to go in after him, but they decide not to. They're going after the CSM. CSM actually don't bleed a model, surprisingly. Power melee from the Catachins was not enough, and you see that demonic roar coming out, making all the units escape everywhere. Catachins very out of position right now. There's currently no AV to deal with this Blood Crusher. It has taken a little bit of damage, but not enough damage so far. Still on 480 health. Raptors going to follow in here. The entire army here, except for the Chimera, now suppressed. We need to get inside that Chimera or do something drastic. Catachins could go down. They will go down. Do you see the leader going down there? Plasmas onto the guardsmen. We still need to see some sort of AV option though. Lord Commissar needs to get a power fist, or something needs to happen here in order for him to deal with this Blood Crusher. Plague Marine slowing down that Chimera, becoming a very real problem. But the Blood Crusher actually backs away, because we do see the Dreadnought over here fighting the other Dreadnought for Hard Justice. Hard Justice Dreadnought is losing this fight. We do see some Mark of Zinc CSM upgrade as well along the autocannon. Several Mark of Corn Marines just going to fly in here against the Lightning Claw Chaos Lord. It's going to be a very close fight. Chaos Lord looks like he's doing a good job of forcing them off, and the Mark of Zinc coming in for support. 2 models go down. This Dreadnought could also turn as well onto melee. They have Plague Marines on the way here from Perfect Hidden Justice. However, this Dreadnought is getting quite low, 333 HP, the autocannon doing quite a bit of damage, actually focusing down the wrong targets, and Plague Marines coming out now for Hard Justice. This Dreadnought is going to be in a lot of pain, having to fight off double Plague Marines, although Chaos Lord has tied up the other ones. The Perfect Hidden Justice's Plague Marines have backed off all the way, and the Tankbuster's Dreadnought in a lot of pain right now. The autocannon Havocs need to set up and need to bait this other Dreadnought to come out. We do see that actually set up. Should force away the Dreadnought of Hard Justice now. Look at the damage being done to it. This Dreadnought needs to turn around, just focus it down. It's very low. Trying to get repaired will go down, however. And do you see the Blood Crusher coming in? Tankbuster's just going to have to let this Dreadnought go right now. I don't think he's going to be able to defend it. The Plague Marines, the Blood Crusher on the field is going to be a bit too much for him to deal with. Robes of Torment as well. Purchase onto the Sorcerer. Even the Icon of Zinc as well. You don't see it too often, but it's a very nice upgrade against blobs, especially Guardsmen or Heretics. This Dreadnought will go down. And this needs to be a full retreat now for Tankbuster. He already got the enemy Dreadnought, traded Dreadnought for Dreadnought in fact. A nice trade. Do see that Power Claw coming in as well onto the Lord Commissar, something that he desperately needed to deal with the Blood Crusher. And we need to see these guys get inside the Chimera right now, and there we go. Protecting them from the flame damage as well on the field. This Blood Crusher still going around, level 2 now, however. Does have that extra health. In fact, he's actually got back out onto the top of the flames. That was a bit of a mistake there. His guardsmen got extremely low. They did manage to get back into the Chimera, but they did take a lot of damage from getting out. We do see that the Raptors are jumping onto the Guardsmen. We do see that the Guardsmen actually managed to get inside the Chimera to protect from any further damage. This Power Claw doing some work in this fight though. Look at the damage it's doing to these Raptors. 1 model down already. The Stubbornness is actually gaining effect as well from the units inside the Chimera. Look at the healing onto the Lord General as well. It does also get a damage buff as well, the more units that he is surrounded with. We have the autocannon resetting up. These double Mark of Corn CSM, there's no suppression on the field right now to actually deal with them, but the autocannon itself is doing a lot of work. We do see another Dreadnought coming out for Tankbuster. Meanwhile, another Dreadnought has actually got purchased as well by Hard Justice, so we'll see if they'll be able to trade Dreadnoughts once again, or if one player will be able to come out on top. Chimera's actually coming over to this side. Plague Marines do get a shot onto that Dreadnought, but it looks like the blue team are after some blood. No, red team are after some blood right now. Do you see the Mark of Corn CSM having to back away? We do see a Predator coming out for Perfect Hidden Justice, the only player currently tier 3 in the game. We do have some Stormtroopers though for Commissar storage. Currently no upgrade yet, and he should keep them unupgraded. So when he sees this Predator, he can upgrade to the Melskin. In fact, it's actually upgrading to the anti-arm kit right now. Wants to take care of this Blood Crusher apparently without using the claw. The anti-arm kit though is going to come in very handy. Once he sees that Predator, I think he'll be very glad. Noxious Cloud going down, Doombot's coming down as well. The Guardsmen are just about reinforcing the damage, but they need to get inside that Chimera or retreat away right now. Do you see the Stormtroopers here as well, but they're actually getting very outmatched right now. They need to get out of the area. The Guardsmen will go down here, 2 HP. There we go, all models dead. See some Doombots onto the Chimera, trying to do everything they can in their powers to finish that off. Stormtroopers will go down. Lord Commissar does take down that Sorcerer, but the losses here are quite staggering, with the Guardsman squad going down. The Stormtrooper who just upgraded their Melter kit went down. But we do have a nice victory over here for Tankbuster as the Blood Rage Dreadnought actually takes down Hard Justice's Dreadnought, and he even goes after the Chaos Lord now. He is very hungry for some blood, and now it's run out. He realizes the Chaos Lord's actually his ally. We do have the Blood Crusher actually charging onto this Autocannon Havoc squad, and the Autocannon Havoc squad tries to reset up, but it's not in it. The Blood Crusher is not in the cone of it though. Do have the Mark of Corn CSM. The Chaos Lord though has the Icon of Nurgle, so he's actually healing per strike, so any kind of melee does need to be careful, and we do see that it has the Mantle of Hate to actually pick up single target units. and toss them around like that. See the Predator coming in with the upgrade. Mark of Nurgle upgrade, which I'm not too sure about. While it does do some very nice damage to Guardsmen and Blobs with its kind of AoE damage, and is very tanky as well. I'm not sure if that was the right choice. I feel like a Mark of Khorne Dreadnought would have been a lot more effective, especially at taking out this Dreadnought and the Chimera, along with the Bolters doing a lot of damage. This Bloodbraid Dreadnought, however, needs to be careful. We actually have some Chosen Plague Marines as well, coming in for hard justice. I do like this unit quite a lot. I'm not sure if it is the right choice, however. But the Rot of Nurgle ability is just absolutely amazing. Against enemy blobs, you just mark the enemy units, and then as soon as you kill them, they become zombies, just like the Sword of Undeath, except for anything can kill them. It doesn't have to be the sword itself. We actually have an Last Cannon, sorry, coming in here. The Predator just walked right up to it. And we do see a Dark Flames. Mark of Khorne CSM actually going to try and chase this down. It will go down altogether. Mark of Zinc CSM trying to come in from the side. I don't know if it's going to be enough, however. 157 to 154 VPs. That Predator and Plague Marines doing a lot of work to this Chimera, and Chimera is struggling to get out of the area. However, we do have the Chosen Plague Marines here as well. Now, Chimera actually goes down. Commissar storage down to just double Guardsman and his Lord Commissar himself. Meanwhile, I see both the Chaos players actually have quite a scary force put together. Mark of Zinc CSM here, but they're not going to be able to do anything. They're not very effective at kiting. These Mark of Khorne CSM are so fast, and with their power melee it's going to be too much. We actually have a third Dreadnought coming out for Tankbooster now. Loving these Dreadnoughts. Although this Dreadnought currently not upgraded, we could see it upgrade into another Mark of Khorne Dreadnought as a nice counter to these Chosen Plague Marines. The Autocannon here trying to do what it can, but actually gets tied up. She doesn't even get tied up. It looks like they were going to tie it up, but didn't get in close enough. And we do see the Chosen Plague Marines actually got in range there, but they do back away. They did lose a model there. Quite surprisingly, you don't normally see them lose a model so easily. But they're already level 2 as well, so tankiness does scale, especially the health regen of them. The health regen is the thing that you do need to be careful of. It looks like they don't have much health, and you see that they've only got about less than 2,500, but it's the health regen which is extremely high. Chaos Lord is mid, trying to do what he can against the Sorcerer, but there's a Predator and some Plague Marines and some CSM here, so he's a little bit outplayed here really. Not much that he can particularly do. The double Mark of Khorne CSM trying to do what they can, but they see that the Dreadnought actually has the Mark of Khorne upgrade and realise they don't want to get a piece of him. This very melee heavy army would get countered by that Mark of Khorne Dreadnought just because of its heavy, just because it's got the melee resistance, and the Mark of Khorne CSM have only got power melee, so they're not really equipped to deal with a vehicle. Did see that a Guardsman squad actually did die, and they did have their Plasma upgrade as well, so they're a very expensive loss once again. You see some mines on the field, but currently this Predator remains untouched. It also has health regen as well, and so any little damage that you do to it is just going to get healed right back up, even without any heretics on the field. There is the Plague Champion, however, to repair, but he alone isn't even needed when you can health regen the little damage that you're doing to it back up. We need some. We do actually have the heavy weapons team still on the field, and that needs to get some decent shots onto the Chaos Predator. Very difficult to take down a Mark of Nurgle Predator because it's so tanky and you've got to take it down. And because it's a ranged unit as well, it's not like a melee walker, for example, where it comes to you, you have to kind of go to it, really. It's going to be a very difficult thing to take down for Red Team. Currently 409 to 123 VPs. Both teams seem to be sitting idle. Looks like they're both going to get ready for a big push. In fact, we do see Perfect Hidden Justice actually purchased a Land Raider Phobos, which is 2/3 done building. Hard Justice going tier 3 himself. Tankbuster has just finished tier 3. Some more Stormtroopers coming out, which is a very nice option. The Stormtroopers with their Melter kit is going to be a very nice counter to this Predator. Something that is definitely needed. Do you have some more Guardsmen coming out for Commissar storage? He wants as many Guardsmen as he can, or as many units surrounding him for that Stubbornness bonus, which is doing a lot of work this game. In conjunction with that Power Claw, you actually do see a Bionic Eye coming out as well to replace the Carapace armor that he had earlier, so we could see some Inspired Determination. We have an Imperial Abyss going down, however, landing right on top of the Predator, the Plague Marines, the Sorcerer, doing a lot of damage, but not actually able to kill or wipe any squads, however. But we do see that he is actually coming in. Tankbooster is going to follow up this nuke with a push of his own. Coming in mid, the Predator does need to be careful. It's level 3 though, so it's actually lasted for quite some time. He's done quite a bit of work. However, the Land Raider Phobos now on the way for perfect hidden justice. Bloodcrusher is going to take down these melee Heretics. Chaos Lord trying to do some capping. These Marcus Inc. CSM going to get tied up here. They really need to get out of the way or fall back to that Dreadnought. We'll lose a model or two. The Aspiring Champion actually was the model that died right there. You see the Dreadnought now in Blood Rage, but there's a lot of AV on the field with this Land Raider Phobos. Even the Blood Crusher can always come in as well and do some damage with its heavy melee. You have the Chosen Plague Marines trying to do what they can. Very tanky they are, but they do not want to be fighting this Dreadnought. They can actually tank quite a bit of the damage from the Dreadnought, but they will cost them some models, and there's no need when you can kite around because there's 3 vehicles against 1 right here. Dreadnought does go down. Things are looking a little bit grim for Red Team right now, especially as the VPs are ticking down. 391 to 82. We have the last cannon set up here. We do actually have a flare going down as well, maybe to fool them into thinking it's a Manticore strike or just to reduce the range to protect that last cannon squad. Some more Havocs coming out here for Tankbooster as well. Definitely need as many or as much AV as possible given the amount of vehicles on the map right now. Another last cannon would probably help out quite a bit to take down this Land Raider Phobos. We have the Plague Champion over here, going to do a bit of side capping. Currently no war gear on him. We actually have the Lord Commissar just run straight up to this Phobos. Look at the damage that he's taken, however. Even the stubbornness is not going to be enough to keep him out of harm's way to run up to this Phobos. We have the last cannon taking some shots here, and we do have the mines going down onto the ground as well. It's taken quite a bit of damage. I think it just needs to back away and get repaired up. It's actually showing its rear armor now to the last cannon, so we could see a rear armor hit come in here, but it looks like the last cannon's actually run out of vision range, so it won't be able to take another shot onto him. We have the Plague Champion here taking a lot of damage. We'll go down. Dark Flames onto the Heretics and Chaos Lord. Heretics need to be careful sitting on top of this fire right now. Chaos Lord's still here. We do have that Shrine of Corn as well. The Blood Crusher taking quite a bit of damage here. Is able to tie up this Melsa squad as well. It looks like they run out of energy before they can actually throw a Melsa bomb. Noxious Cloud. Look at the damage! You can just see the red flying everywhere. Double Guardsman actually wiped. This Stormtrooper squad only gets away with 10 HP. You can just see the bodies racking up right there. And do you see the Noxious Cloud actually doing some damage to heavy weapons team? Takes down another 2 more models. That Noxious Cloud was extremely violent. Do you see that Commissar storage is actually down to just the Stormtroopers that lived and the heavy weapons team that lived. He also has his Commissar Lord himself. The Blood Crushers are actually going to come in here. The Blood Crusher should go down though. It's very desperate for this last cannon heavy weapons team, and it might also be the fact that Perfect Hidden Justice is nearing his population cap and actually wants to get rid of the Blood Crusher. He's on 90 out of 100 right now. Does actually warp it to safety, however, but he will walk over some mines, so he does need to be a bit careful. Heretics are on the way though for some repairs, some much needed repairs in fact. Do have the Havoc squad that was recently purchased actually upgrades to a last cannon just set up, protecting this area actually. Although no vehicles are in the area, or seem to be going in the area. Flare going down. I'm not sure about this flare. It's a bit unneeded. Gives vision, however. And maybe that's what he's using it for. But Red Team do need to make something happen as soon as possible. 17 VPs for them. We do have the Stormtroopers off here capping. Looks like Blue Team currently hasn't noticed yet. Do have the Worship going down, except for Worship doesn't affect friendly units, so this Nurgle Worship isn't actually doing too much. Trying to help out his ally there. We do have the double Predators now, both of Perfect Hidden Justice. Perfect Hidden Justice loving his vehicle. Some Doombolts going down, but because of the elevation it doesn't really work. We do see it as a 2-to-1 cap now for Red Team. They've actually managed to stay in the game so far. Heretics going in, although there's a lot of melee to actually contest with right now. Do you see the Doom Blast going down? Chaos Lord trying to heal as much as he can. It's actually doing a lot of damage. Those lightning claws are shredding everything in melee, and the healing as well from the Icon of Corn is going to be too much. Both players to handle. Do you see the Blood Crusher coming in now? Heretics will be wiped there for Tankbooster. The Chaos Lord will go down. Predator very low. Havoc's trying to reset up on top of a Noxious Cloud will go down, CSM will go down, Predator will go down, Lord Commissar coming in with that Power Claw now, doing a lot of work, takes down one Predator, trying to revive the Chaos Lord, will go down himself however, you cannot res him under that much fire. Do you see the Autocannon trying to do what it can? Do you see Red Team is very desperate here, down to almost no units in comparison to Blue Team right now. Do you have Heretics coming in trying to do what they can? They're very low however. Do need to back away, and do you see the Autocannon Havoc Swatter will barely escape there with 2 models at 70 HP. Red Team down to 3 VPs, there's nothing on the map for them right now to actually cap, and that is game. Blue Team will win game 1 out of their series. So Team E.R.E.C.T has won their first game against Ordo Spurdo Spardictus, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.